All right, we're good to go.
Okay.
Okay. Paula, nice to be back home. Thrilling win today. Probably a little too close for your comfort, but you came out with a victory.
Well, that's the good part of it is we came out with the win. Man, want to give Carrie just a ton of credit for her team, and I love how they play. And I've known her, for God's sakes, I recruited her. She played for me. I've coached with her, and I'm really proud of what she's doing at McKendree. But, you know, her team does a great job of playing just like her identity. I mean, they played tough. They played hard. They didn't back down all game. Played fearless. And I thought did a nice job of executing. So good credit to them. Disappointed in the way we started. I feel like I'm not doing obviously a good job getting our group understanding that, you know, game's 40 minutes and you got to be competitive from the tip. And I thought McKendree was the aggressors. We weren't. And obviously you saw I put five new ones in, and actually that was the group that came back and got the lead because they played hard and played aggressive, and that's how this game is supposed to be played. If you want to play safe, you need to go, I don't know, checkers probably isn't a safe game either, but you got to go play Uno or something, I don't know, play something that's safe. You know, this game, it's meant to be fun, but it's meant to be competitive for 40 minutes, and I don't feel like we played real smart tonight. I don't feel like we played, I did a poor job offensively getting our group understanding what we wanted to run and what was open, and I've obviously got to do a better job communicating, and I think our players need to do a better job listening and executing.
To illustrate your point, you had them down by 16 and ready to maybe close it out, and they bounced back and came back and go on a run to tie the game. So,
well, there's a stretch there where it was poor execution offensively, poor choices of shot selection and timing, and it wasn't any one. I mean, we all kind of had a part in it, and then we came down, and I thought, you know, played kind of passively defensively at times, and you know, there was how many series there down the stretch did they have 2 and 3 offensive boards and then we'd foul. See, that's, you know, when that ball's bouncing up and it's going, you got to go get it. I mean, that's just a toughness thing. If you want to back down, somebody's going to go get it.
well, that's like you said, playing safe. Sometimes you get in a mode where you're playing not to lose, where they're playing to win.
Right, and we didn't do a good job down the stretch of handling the lead, taking care of it. We did a good job building it, and then I thought we didn't do as good of a job down the stretch trying to take care of it.
So it didn't finish the way you wanted to.
No, absolutely not, no.
But you had the ball, the person in the right hands there at the end.
Well, she went to make a play. We didn't quite set the play up exactly right, but the clock was running down, and we wanted to take the shot with that few of seconds left. And you know, the one thing I'll say is, and I know she would have wanted to make both free throws, but she made the important one. And just for young players and people out there listening, it didn't surprise me that it went in, because this morning when I walked in, we had shoot around at 9 o'clock. And at 8:30 in the morning, this kid, who has not been happy with her free throws, was in practicing her free throws. It's just, there's no magic. I mean, I know people think there's this magic luck and great shooter's touch and all this stuff. There's nothing but work. And I think Christen has been putting in the work. And I know she wanted to make both of them, but she made the one that was important, and she worked at it today.
Yeah.
It's not just going to happen because she wants it. We all want things. You have to work for them.
Christen, you made all tournament team in your last tournament. Now you had a big game today and got the winning point. How do you feel? You feel like maybe you're starting to arrive a little bit with this team, or blend in the way you want to?
I believe that's what I'm doing. I think I'm just taking what my teammates are giving me. We're starting to gel really well together, and we're starting to develop the team chemistry that we need to win. So I think me and my teammates are finally starting to get together and be able to execute and give each other what we need and play our roles.
When you went to the free throw line, was it you wanted to take your time, or you wanted to shoot quickly? Sometimes you can think too much or not think enough. What were you?
Just like every other free throw, Coach Buscher always tells me I need a same, which is up and in. So that's all I was thinking, was up and in. Nothing more. Wasn't thinking that, you know, it's a tie game. These are needed. It was just another free throw for me.
And when you made the first one, a sense of relief?
A little bit, but not much. I definitely want to make both of them.
Yeah.
But I think the first one and going in was really good for us. So.
Yeah. How important was it for, you to get this win and then coming home, you've been on the road, you played 9 on the road, probably playing at home seemed sort of maybe
Yeah.
foreign to you, but I mean, just to get this win at home and everything.
It was super important. I think we need to get back in the groove of things of getting back in the VC with our fans and being able for them to cheer us on before we start conference play. I think it was very important because that's the longest road game stretch I've ever been on, and from what I know, Coach Buscher has probably ever been on. So it was pretty.
And I'm
pretty
just a
long.
couple years older than you.
Just
so
a couple.
That's a long time.
Not much, just a little bit, but yeah,
Thanks,
it wasn't tough. It was a different experience being on the road for that long, but being back was very beneficial. We needed that before we started our conference play next year.
Have you ever been in that situation before where you had, either a game-winning shot or a free throw with the game on the line?
Not that I can remember, honestly. I think this was my first one.
Well, you handled it very well.
Well, she's
Thank you.
playing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's playing aggressive on both sides of the floor, and I think her offense and she's worked very hard defensively on the basketball IQ and angles and things like that. And offensively, that's starting to come around too. In a lot of ways, Christen didn't see the floor much last year at all. Again, you got to keep working. Things aren't just handed to you.
Right.
And so, in a lot of ways, she's just starting, in my opinion, to get your feet wet and get that great understanding of the game. I think the sky's the limit for her, and quite frankly, I'll make sure I stay on her till we get to that.
I think she had 9
I'm gonna
rebounds.
make you that promise.
I think she had 9 rebounds today too, so it's not just, playing
See,
outside.
she should have had one more, and then she would have had 10. No, but that's a big part of her game. I think she is a tremendous athlete, and she's learning different ways to score, and she's learning different ways to not just score, but be a big part of our offense out there. And going to the offensive boards is just, I think it's huge. I think it's one of those selfless things. It takes a lot of grit and a lot of guts and toughness to go all the time. You don't always get them, but you gotta remain relentless.
Paula, now you're looking at OVC and it's sort of a new season, starting the conference playing that. What do you see? I mean, you got SEMO at home and then at Eastern. What are you looking for this weekend?
Well, I'm looking for better than what we went out today. I mean, I'll be honest with that. But really what I'm looking for from this group is to find, the way we played our last game. We didn't win it at the tournament, but we played Missouri State to 1 possession game. We had a shot on the buzzer. We showed a lot of toughness. I mean, we really battled and were physical and were smart with our defense. We didn't foul a ton. And I'm looking for this team to really just challenging them individually for their competitiveness and kind of that competitiveness, toughness, and then also kind of challenging them to how do we share it? How do you share that? Now, Christen might be one of the toughest kids. Well, how does she help me be tough? How does she help me be competitive? Because our unit out there, it doesn't matter who it is, really has to lock down and be very determined. And we haven't figured that out yet, but we'll still get there. We've got time. We can get there.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank you
Coach.
very much.
Thank you.